Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles can be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes to help you understand why your person is doing what they're doing, why you're attracting a person that triggers you. What is the whole spiritual significance of the connection, because everything that happens in the physical realm happens because of what is going on in the spiritual realm. And the spiritual realm is also known as the astral realm. So, again, that connects with the psychological and the emotional aspects of ourself. So, when we have shadows, also known as spiritual blockages, it's a combination of psychological and emotional energy held in the body as stress, and it's what determines our energy vibration and what makes us a magnet for who and what comes into our life. So, in order to heal the effects of trauma, again, because that's what spiritual blocks are created from trauma, whether they're little traumas or big traumas, again, doesn't matter. It just matters to the person that went through the experience. Well, until you learn the lesson, see how you contributed to the imbalances, what you needed to learn, and then actually embodying the new consciousness, you never change your energy vibration. So these readings are not just about to find out what your person's going to do, but we all want to know that. But it's more or less to integrate those traumas so that you can raise your vibration and become a magnet for who you are today, not the wounds of the past. All right, we're going to jump in today. Anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you'll find in the description box, including the word of the video. You know that you need that if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me. You also have to be open to getting a shadow reading. It has a therapy style to it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of video is always on the first card that I pull out. It's the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. Very important when a person is wearing masks, because we don't know why they're doing what they're doing. We just know what they're doing is triggering us. All right, let's see what that word of the video is. By the way, coaching is open, and I am working on a new project for that's very similar to Patreon, only cheaper, because I wanted to do mass coaching for hundreds of people at a time that's affordable and give them perks. So I've become like this social goat per se. That's what the platform's called. And the reason why is because you don't just get my content, you get hundreds of other people's content for a really low price. You become affiliate, you can make money. It's a wonderful thing. If this is something that interests you, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, click on the link. It's in the description box and you can sign up if you it sounds good. But if you want more information, feel free to contact me. All right. I'm really excited about this because I'm going to be doing my podcast on it. I'm going to be offering a lot of different classes on it. Like just it's a platform that makes it affordable for everyone, and not just affordable, but you get all this other content, and it's just a no-brainer. It's like a Mind Valley, only better. It's a YouTube, but better. You don't just get people that do readings. You get people that do everything. All right. I'm really excited about it, as you can see. All right, the word of the video is detachment. That's the underlining energy, and that's kind of crappy energy because we know detachment means that you're connected to someone that is like not in their body, that they're not looking at how they treated you, that they're detached from it, that they don't have a feeling one way or the other about it because they're detached from it. Because what comes with detachment is disassociation disorder, where a person knows what they did, but it's almost like they're watching somebody else do it. So they don't have a feeling one way or the other about it. Detachment is also created from trauma. So I feel like you're connected to someone that you're connected to somebody that has gone through their own trauma. So that's why they're detached. So they can't handle their own emotions, so they wouldn't be able to handle yours. They wouldn't be able to deal with your emotions. We're going to go a little bit deeper, betrayal, and that's when we knew this. So they're detached from how they treated you. If you want to know what they're doing, not to trigger you, but you have to understand that people that have blocks, they're not as present. They're not present because the way that the psyche protects is that we go out of consciousness. We are no longer aware of what has transpired. So when you look at your person, you say, how are they not? Well, it's they're living their trauma. They're not present. It's like try and look at a 3-year old. And would you expect a 3-year old to know if they, let's just say they went into your makeup and they went into like your tools, or again, went into your car and ruined your car. They're 3 years old. It's like they don't know any better. Well, that's like a person that has trauma. They're not aware. So you have to kind of look at this person like that because whatever the age was that the original trauma happened for this person, it's like that's the age that they're cut off at, meaning that they never they never like grew up. It's like they froze at that age, whatever the age was that the trauma. So again, when you look at them, you have to kind of look at them through that perception, and I don't think that you did. I think if anything, you were so hurt by what they did that it actually brought back your trauma, and you're stuck in this energy of why did this person do what they did to me? Why did they? It's again, it's if they cared about me, I know that they care about me. Why does it look the way that it does? Why is this person so want to hurt me? Why did they deliberately go? And it's because the original age that that trauma happened, where the detachment happened, is what the age is that this person's actually like frozen in per se when it comes to emotional intelligence. So what you're dealing with is someone that acts like they're 10 or 12, someone that like is like a kid that likes a girl and does mean things to get attention because they're too embarrassed to say something. So that's the energy that you're dealing with, and it's the underlining energy. So you're not really gonna like how how this person treated you because you can see how they are. Oh, I have a few different decks mixed into this deck, it looks like. I don't know what happened there. Okay, there's that, there's that, there's that. We're gonna take from these two different decks. This is from the old. We're just gonna put it over there so we remember. Trying to get a little bit more organized. What happens is by the end of the reading, I've cards everywhere. All right, so let's see again. What is this? Okay, I have found a few more cards from the other deck. Okay, let's see. Dishonest. This person like just lies a lot, and to the point that it made you feel unsafe. Well, betrayal with betrayal. So the betrayal is just a lot of lies, and I feel like this person, they were still connected to a past lover. It's like they said that they made it like I'm obligated to do this for this person, but that's not what it was. It's that this person had feelings. They weren't ready to let that connection go. And so they treated you badly because I think that they knew that that person didn't really want to get back together with them. I think that that's pretty much what it was. So it was like this person was pouring into somebody else, trying to convince them to stay with them, that they were going to work it out, giving. And what happened is that they ignored you, and you're like felt unsafe because you're like at any minute you can leave. It's like you're telling me that you have to do this for the kids, you have to do this because the person doesn't make enough money, they don't do this. You made 1,000 excuses, but where are the excuses for me when I'm going through something? Again, like this person like pretended that, the relationship was ending and it really wasn't ending. It was time to let go. and make a fresh start. And this person didn't do that. It's again, they were again unfair. They wanted you to be in a one-sided relationship where they almost held on to this other person and they expected you to be okay with it. And the person would again say, "Oh, it's the children, it's not, it's everything else except for the fact that this person was not 100% ready to let go." Made you feel forgotten about. And it brought up your trauma. And I feel like it brought up your trauma because it's like this person was deliberately giving to somebody else in front of you, saying that they care about you, telling you that they have all these feelings for you. But they're supposed to be done with that connection. They don't have to stay in that connection, even if that person that was connected to them was manipulating them. It's still up to this person to, set appropriate boundaries to respect you. This person didn't think about you at all. And this is what you're upset about. You're upset at the fact of you told me that that was over and you dragged it out, but the whole time what I'm realizing is you don't really know whether you want it to be over. You have so many different mixed feelings, and it's possible because that karmic just isn't interested in you anymore. So you feel obligated to do the right thing. You want to do, but you don't care whether or not I'm sitting over here and whatever's going on in my life, you don't care. You make 1,000 excuses. So again, it brought up trauma of abandonment, trauma of like, again, that your needs were not important. And then it's like, because you said something to this person, they again judged you, almost like you don't have any sympathy. This person, like, I need to do the right thing. Don't you care about like children? I have to do this for my kids, which it's a lie. The person was hiding behind the children. They were really not ready to end that connection. Now, I don't know whether it was love or whether it was, again, a combination of, I feel like it was a combination of mixed emotions that this person didn't really love, but the guilt, the fear of the unknown, of entering into a new relationship fully. Like this person was deliberately trying not to like give you your power. When you enter into a relationship, and two people are clear, meaning they're not attached to anyone. They're ready to do give and take reciprocity. This person never really wanted to be fair with you, said unfair. It was something that you knew, but they hid behind their situation, hoping all the while that you would, let down your boundary, look the other way, have, like feel bad for the children, feel bad again, like have to consider everybody else except for yourself. This is what this person was trying to do because they wanted to have their cake and eat it too. And so what this person did was they again manipulated you. They were dishonest. And you felt like they were cheating, like it was only a matter of time. And really, I feel like, to be honest with you, they were connected to that karmic, but I feel like they were cheating on that person the whole time. That they, that they never really close a door with anybody. And that's because this person doesn't want to grow up. They're stuck in the age of like 13 years old. So they don't want to be accountable. They want to be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it. So if they don't fully close the door anyway, well, then they can always come back. And that's what you saw with this karmic, where this karmic, like they know that once they go to you and they're with you for good, that karmic is like, bye. Bye. I'm never going to talk to you again, and you're probably never going to see your children again because you fucked with me one too many times. That's where the karmic is at. It's like, but your person still did not know what they wanted. And so, like, in order for you to actually get any attention, you had to, like, this person actually wanted to put you in a position where, like, you are fighting for them. Like, in order for you to, like, even get attention, you had to start an argument to get soothed, to get an answer. Like, what's going on? But this person liked that because it also fed their ego. So again, what we see here is somebody that's on a very low consciousness. Again, we see again X factor. It came up like that. As long as that person is gonna stay in your person's life, what you knew is you're not gonna have the connection that you want to have. This person, like I said, has tried to do everything to manipulate the situation, and nothing's worked. So they've come to a place where, you know, they know that you're not fooling around, but they still don't know what to do. That's why they're in a place of detachment. They're avoidant. I'm not going to look at it. We're going to pull three more from here and then see what they're doing again. And the reason why that again, they don't know what they want because they don't just have one person, they have many flames. Because they don't, again, they're not just connected to that karmic. It's like being connected to that karmic allowed them to have many different people, not just one person. That's why. But that's, and we've been getting, we had a very similar story like this either on this channel or another channel. But now we're going even deeper into it, where this person, we're getting into the real nitty gritty, where this person really doesn't know what they want. They really don't know what they want, and the real reason why is because they have a lot of different people. So again, and the reason why is because they got burned before. So they make sure that they're never going to get burned again. But understand this person's focus is on getting burned, not on creating an intimate relationship. And I say that because when we set up our situation because we're afraid that something is going to happen, what we're saying is that we're actually calling that into action, first of all. Because we're the manifestors of our life. Now, you say, well, what am I not supposed to prepare? No, it's not that you don't know. You have to have discernment and set yourself up, but you're too, like, this person, like, knows that they have that imbalance. So know that they have fear. They need to heal that. Instead, what they do is they don't know how to heal it. So they go into relationships and they never close the door on any relationship. And it's so that they can maintain their image, it's so that they can still have their lifestyle. And the lifestyle that they have is what we see. They don't want to grow up because they got burned before, but the focus is again on being burned. They're calling that into action by setting it up like that. So the relationship never has a chance to progress ever. And I feel like that karmic that was attached to them dealt with a lot of bullshit for a long time. It's like, and then finally had it. Now this person is drowning in their emotions, and that's why they're detached. It's like if they have to actually sit and look at what they did and look at how they treated everyone, well, because I feel like they do have feelings for that karmic, but they have feelings for you. They spent time with that karmic. It's one thing when, the person was ignoring what they were doing. It's like this person like then would go home and then do something nice for them. With you, they'd come in and out of your life. They didn't want to have any really sort of monogamy I see with anyone. And when that happens and you set your life up so that you don't get burned, what happens is you get burned. Because eventually no one wants to deal with it. Everyone sees it. Again, this person, you want to know what they're doing? I feel like they're eating a lot. So this person goes from one bad addiction to another. So again, eating is a way of suppressing their emotions. They're holding back from you. They're in a competition, acting like they're in a competition, like, well, you're not going to talk to me. Well, I'm not going to talk to you, playing like this. And they can do that because, hey, they got this karmic that they're still trying to kind of work it out with, but they're not really sure, even though that's the dead deal. And there's also, they could stay connected to this karmic, they think, and still have all these other flames. So I don't really have to grow up. I'm a little annoyed that you would actually put me in this place of thinking that I should. It makes them angry. Again, they're in competition because you're holding your ground. You're saying, I don't, like, I'm not going to enter into this. You need to end it with that person. You need to end it not just with that person, but everyone else. and give me the correct amount of energy, time. This person again is fighting it. That's why you shouldn't take them back right here. And it's because they feel like a lack. It's like this person like would feel a lack in being in an equal give and take reciprocity type relationship because they don't feel safe in a relationship because they got burned before. So they set it up so they'll never get burned again. So actually, like being like on equal ground makes this person feel like they have less than. I also feel like they think that if they leave that karmic, that they will have less. And I also think that if they're connected still to that karmic and that karmic isn't getting any loving, well, they're getting it financially. So and again, where your person was pouring in that way to try to win that karmic back. The karmic might have been lying, might have been toying with them for a while, but just was not really ever going to take them back. So again, the person's like thinking, well, I can still stay connected to this karmic, have the illusion like I have everything still, and have all these other people on the side to emotionally be fulfilled. To be with you, they'd actually have to step it up, and they don't really want to do that, and they actually have a problem with you holding your ground. Again, they want you to conform. It's again, conform. It's again, this is a family patterns. It's like they grew up with somebody that I'm feeling like this person grew up with someone that was married, but also was married previously and kind of ran back and forth from one relationship to another because they didn't have boundaries. They didn't have strong boundaries because they were guilted and they were manipulated because all they did was betray, the person that they were with the whole time. So that's the thing when you're in a relationship with somebody that cheats on you, lies to you, doesn't care about your feelings, and then it creates intimacy problems. And intimacy at the basic level is trust, but then it affects the bedroom, obviously. So what happens is that these people go out and cheat. So daddy or mommy went out and cheated, and then they were guilted by the person that they originally had children with. So they went back and forth. And again, almost like you lived in this like polygamy type of weird connection, or that's what it felt like, even if the person was just going back and forth to help financially or to help, like you felt like you didn't have this person solely to yourself because it wasn't a clean break of, okay, you're done in that relationship. You figure out the days that you take your children, you figure out the amount of money you're going to give per month. No, all that is gray area because, hey, well, this way I get to see my kids when I want. This way I can come back and forth and, utilize these resources when I want. So I'm not really going to close the door on it, regardless that it's going to put the person that I'm with now in a place where now they have intimacy issues with me. And so it's going to create problems in the bedroom. And then what's going to happen? They're going to run out and they're going to meet somebody else. And then hoping that you would then guilt them, right? And so then they'd feel obligated. But then when that first person, the karmic, has a problem with them, then they'll just run to you. And then if you have a problem, they just run to one of their other flames. So they never really have to be accountable. And that's really what the problem is. And they watch this behavior. They grew up in a family that they watched either their mother or their father do this to that other parent. And it's a way that they avoid criticism. And it's all because of money issues. Because guess what? When you are with somebody and you're in and out and you're playing games and, you know, well, like I said, if you're in a connection, that person is not getting their emotional needs met, they're going to take their money. They're going to take some resource. They're going to, it becomes a relationship all about betrayal. It becomes a relationship because the intimacy gets ruined. And the intimacy gets ruined because, again, this person doesn't hold accountable. They don't change their patterns. They don't talk about their issues. Instead, they run to somebody else. And I feel like that karmic dealt with it for a long time, but there it's not even love. It's like it's guilt, it's manipulation, it's betrayal. This person will think that they love that person a little bit because there's a agenda of a lot of different emotions. So next to you, well, they haven't given you enough time or energy yet. So you're like, where do I fall? Well, them not giving anything, it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. They're still thinking of you. There's still a connection, but they haven't fed that connection. So they have fed all these other connections. And the reason why is because if they would have fed your connection, that would have grown because it's a real connection, where these others, they don't really care about. They're using those people. It's again here for a good time, not a long time. They're in competition with you because they actually have feelings and they're like, well, I'm not going to cave in because I got burned before and I don't really want to get burned again. So I need to have the upper hand. So when we go deeper and we say, well, what are the hidden truths with this person? How do they truly feel? Why do they still hold on? Why? Like what is the issue? Let's go deep. It was my fault, but I blamed you. So they knew what they were doing. They just wanted to hook you because I love you. And sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. So they have a connection to you. I want to be more than friends. I'm so attracted to you. So again, this person like has a soul connection to you. They are attracted to you. They tried to walk away from you. They can't walk away from you. So the next best thing was to try to get you to not have boundaries. And that's not what happened. I feel like let's go and see if there's any more information spiritually. Well, that one just pilled that. I feel abandoned. I feel abandoned. I often feel like others let me down. So this is again why this person does what they do. Can you tell us anything else? So it's almost like this, like when this person thinks of you, they think about what they have to do in order to be with you, and then they're like, I can't do that, and I can't do that because that would give you too much power is what I feel like. And that's how the beginning of this reading actually opened. I wish you could see that we're mirroring each other right now because I feel like there's a part of you that's like, I don't want to deal with this. This is bullshit. It's like enough is enough. I'm tired of your story. I'm tired of your issue. It's like you don't want to be with me. I haven't done anything to you. It's like you're just being like a child like that's in a candy store that you're saying, no, you can't get all that candy. You can get one piece, and that person and that child is going to sit there and play every single fucking game to make you really irritated, to make you really mad, to trigger you so that you eventually cave in. This is this person, which is why I feel like you detached. And this is why they feel abandoned because people are not going to put up with that. It's like that they act so stubborn and smug and self-righteous, and then you're going to check out on top of it. When we're talking, things just come out of my mouth, and afterwards, I don't even know why I said them. So there's a sense of, again, they don't trust themselves around you. That's the issue. It's like I have feelings for you. I'm struggling with codependency and I'm afraid to let go of old coping mechanisms. And this is a coping mechanism, is that they're extremely codependent. They're extremely codependent. And so, they have financial issues now because again, they stayed connected. So the way that they deal with life is just pretty much avoidant. And there's probably addictions there as well. What we see there is feelings of inadequacy. Ah, there it is, addiction. And then the problem is this person wants to act as if they're the authority, they're in charge, but they're going to act like they're bartering out, their time and their energy to their ex when really it's like they don't really want to leave that situation. They don't want to feel guilty about that situation because again they do have children, a lot of them they do have, so they're like, well, again, they just make it look like that. And here we see it again, that they were taught this energy. This person doesn't care if you're in a place of anxiety, but I feel like now they're in a place of anxiety because you're too balanced. You see right through their illusion, and this person can't manipulate you. So what they did was they kept trying to take risks because it's all about their self-image. So this person doesn't want to do any healing. They're in a place of, again, a very low vibration. Is what I see here is that they have a lot of attraction for you. They think that they love you, but it scares the shit out of them. And what they say is, well, I have all these other obligations from this person, and you should just kind of give in because there's children involved and there's responsibility, and but I really do care about you. And again, being with them means that you have to settle, and that's not love. This person, if they really loved you, they would change. And that's the thing. No, they want to be comfortable. And let me tell you something. No love story that's really worth anything, like, was everybody comfortable in all the time. You see a lot of relationships that, unfortunately, people have to fight to be with each other. People have to, especially today, there's a lot of divorces that go on. There's a lot of, you really have to know what you want so that you don't let your emotions dictate you. This person's pretending that their emotions aren't dictating them, but their emotions are dictating them because their concern is, I don't want to get burned. And you make me feel too much. I have too much attraction for you. You would have too much power. I can't give you all that power. So I'm going to try to manipulate you into like compromising because it's easier for me because I don't want to change how things look, my self-image. That's what we see here. So we say, why did you attract this person into your life? Because you're a mirror of who and what comes into your life, right? I mean, that's how it works. We have to ask ourselves, why did you attract this person into your life? Because what we see here is that they're not really going to do anything. If they come back, they're still attached to other people. It's just more games to try to get you to like lower your boundaries to so that you give in. It's like they may say that they changed, but they didn't. There's like again, you would need to say, where are the divorce papers? What day do you get your children? I want to see it. I want to see it in writing. I want to know, like you would have to be this person's parent. And unfortunately, that would create major intimacy issues again, because that's what ruined their relationship with the karmic, because the karmic wound up being like, I don't trust you anymore, and wound up being like a warden to this person. And so that's why they just would run to other people. Well, they do the same thing to you, that this is what they do. So again, we see, why did you attract this person into your life? Belittled, um, uh, physical touch, frustration, outdoors in nature, cleansing. Safety and security. How many is that? One, two, three, four, five, six. So what we see here is, again, obviously there was no emotional support. When there's no emotional support as a child, you didn't feel safe. You didn't feel safe. And there was also psychological abuse when a child's belittled by a parent or by like a sibling, because these are the inner child wounds, or a teacher, someone that was an authority figure that should have given support, should have given security and made you feel safe. You were getting bullied. Belittled is bullied, made to feel not good enough, made to feel shamed. So, and then not just belittled, but didn't get any emotional support at all. You weren't acknowledged. So, like, if God forbid you were having a hard time, there was no support. If there was like anything special happened for you, it was ignored. It's like almost like you weren't allowed to have an identity. like what was given to you was you were belittled and life was frustrating because obviously, like if your parent is a bully or seen as a bully or a sibling seen as a bully or a teacher, like you're not going to feel safe. And if you don't feel safe, well, then you're not grounded anymore. There's a lack of connection to the physical world because there's a lack of connection to the physical body. You would always be up in your head because that's what children do. That would be like, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. I don't know. Am I going to get emotionally abused today? Am I going to be belittled? Am I going to be yelled at? Am I going to be screamed at for again, just because that parent is angry or that sibling is angry or that parent is going through a rough time. So they're giving me a hard time. Again, that's what the bully does. Bullies are usually bullied at home. They're taught that behavior. And so again, belittled, but and emotionally didn't get. So that fear is because I don't feel like you were a bully, but I feel like was you became like a pleaser. You became someone that when you're a bullier, when you're around a bullied person and they're your mother or your father, well, that child needs love. They're going to do anything for love. And if they can't get it from that parent, they're going to look for it outside their parent. They're going to try and get that support, and it's never going to be what it should be. It's always going to fall short because your friends' parents can't be your parents. They can't, they're not going to give you the same amount as what they give to their child. But being friends with people that come from very stable homes and then seeing what they do for their children and seeing what your family does for you, well, you had plenty to compare. And again, made you feel unworthy, made you feel not good enough, made you feel not enough, made you feel not safe, made you feel not secure, made you feel not loved. And that's why you attracted this person into your life. But Spirit says you've come to a place now where it's time to cleanse it, and you have the power to. And you have the power to cleanse it all, to heal it because those situations did happen. It's not like they didn't. You attracted this person into your life because you deserve more, to honor yourself, to cleanse this energy so that you can again vibrate at the vibration of who you are today, not the wounds of your past. You had to embody this situation. That's why this person's in competition with you. They're pissed because you're not caving in. You're like, I'm not giving in to this. I don't care like what it is. And when you take your power back, well, instead of this person feeling all fuzzy and warm and wanting to do, there's a sense of them wanting to punish you. They cannot. Spirit says, live authentically and bold, unafraid to be yourself, live out loud, which obviously, like when you're cleansing yourself of feeling belittled, you shrunk yourself. And Spirit says, no, now it's about living out loud. And this person certainly wouldn't have let you do that. They would have wanted you to share the spotlight. They would have wanted you to share your space with 10 other people. They want to do the minimum. We see exactly, hey, because they got away with it before, they think who they are. So it's again, the energy is no. To again connect to a safe, sacred place within yourself. Spirit said it was time for you to learn how to feel safe just with you because you were surrounded by people for so long that didn't make you feel safe. So you couldn't trust yourself because the environment made you feel that way. So it was time to again live boldly, unapologetically, but again, learn to be strong within yourself. Take the time out. And how do you get strong within yourself? You connect to the God inside of you. The God that's inside of you is the higher self. The higher self is the God part of self that connects us to everyone. It's a supernatural energy. It's the energy of the universe. And it talks to us through our intuition. It talks to us through our science and and the symbols that we encounter every day, the people, the situations, the experiences that are always conspiring to show us support and love. And Spirit saying you need to connect to that because the kingdom of heaven's inside of you, not outside of you. Don't let what's going on inside of you project that. Heal that. heal that, fully heal that. Because again, then what'll happen is you'll become free and clear of any spiritual blockages. And when you have spiritual blockages within the relationship, that's the second chakra, it makes you feel like there's something wrong with inside of you. Now, we all will have blockages, otherwise we're dead, right? Because there would be no reason why we need to be here in physical form. However, Spirit's saying is you will be free to of like any relationship blocks. That second chakra is not just your passion for a person and your relationships. It's what creates balance because identity, your individuality, who you perceive that you are. When you look in the mirror, you say, "This is who I perceive that I am." When Spirit says, "No, that's not fully who you are. You actually thought that you were this, and that's why the universe brought you this person that thought it was okay that you compromise." And you're like, "I don't think I'm that person. That's something that happened a long time ago." And Spirit says, "Yes, but you haven't embodied the new energy of really living loud, living your true self." And the reason why is because you're still not really strong within yourself. So once you heal that and you become strong within yourself, you get boundless energy. It's again, it's like because it's powered by the divine, because the universe is spirit, and that spirit is the air that you breathe. It's the prana, and it works through you. The energy that we have comes from the fact when we're in a high energy, we feel good. We're interactive in life. We're giving and receiving of love through our free will. We're becoming the energy of love. And that energy is the strongest energy. It transcends time and space. It can't be broken. It can't be manipulated. And what this person sees is, guess what? They still have feelings, but you took your power back. And in the end of the day, it's going to be their karma. Again, like this was all about you facing your fears, which understand, you might say, well, it happened a long time ago, a parent. Well, the child self, like, still lives inside of you, number one. And number two, your body is your mind's faithful servant. So even though you went through the experience a long time ago, like when you get around difficult people like this, all those feelings and emotions would come up because again you didn't fully embody the new consciousness, so it still had a hold on you. And until you fully embody the new consciousness and transmute that energy, and transmuting it is just stepping into the new self. And the new self here is someone that Spirit's saying is someone that's living boldly and authentically and isn't belittled, isn't suppressed, isn't made to feel that they're not worthy. Again, someone that's belittled. Again, someone that you had to give yourself the security and the support. And that comes from having God inside of you. That comes from being strong to your creator. Again, the universe, because the universe always has your back. But you have to face your fears, not run from them. So you had to go through this experience. And then again, to be able to really create, but you can't create anything until you really know who you are and embody this new consciousness. And that's why you had to go through this situation. Otherwise, it just, you would have said, yeah, that's just something that happened to me a long time ago. I'm looking for a deck of cards, which is why my eyes are darting around. Um, that's why I try and clean up the cards, but I didn't. They're still a mess. Um, but we look and we say, well, one last message from the universe, because like I said, we understand why you had to go through that. But the biggest message again is Spirit says, have positive thinking. Understand that your life is full of small patches of light. Direct your thoughts to that which bring you well-being. Place what is weighty for you in the hands of the universe. Little by little, the light awakens in your being and you find serenity. So again, that like It's very common if you grew up in a home with a parent that belittled you, made you feel like crap about yourself, made you feel like you were unworthy, for you to attract people into your life that do that so that you fully embody a new consciousness so that no one can ever make you feel that way again. Because no one can make you feel that way unless there's some truth to it. And so it wouldn't be that you're no one, it's because you chose to be no one. It's that that situation happens. So it's affecting your finances, it's affecting your relationship, it's affecting. So that's what bothers. It's the fact that there's this truth, and so we need to integrate that spiritual lesson to learn that that's not the truth, that that's one reality, but there's many different realities. We just need to do something different. Healing is just changing our perception. And so keeping our focus on the positive things allows us to stay in a high vibrational energy. There's always going to be things that we don't have control over, and people and things that come into our life that again we don't have control over. We only have control over ourselves. So Spirit's saying it's all about positive thinking. If you grew up in an environment where you were belittled, you might have been programmed to have negative thinking. So it's something to think about. It's something to focus on. So like listening to science of the mind and listening to the law of attraction, listening to different YouTube videos that educate. It's about reconditioning your mind. Because again, when bad things happen, it's normal for us to automatically go there. So again, positive thinking. We're going to pull two more. Freedom. Realize your wounds create doubt, resentment, and guilt. So work to free yourself of darkness. Cast off negative thoughts. Find peace in your heart and discover the being of light within you. And so Spirit saying, again, that's what this was about. It was about clearing yourself from the wounds of doubt, resentment, guilt. No one can know, and that happens when a person makes us feel a certain way, when a person projects that. But if we know who we are, it can affect us. It's that about all about raising our vibration, raising our consciousness so we see a different outcome, so we can see ourselves differently. And that's a spiritual walk. That's something that is the faith walk. And one last piece. And again, Spirit just says, be unwavering in the face of fear. Come to your senses, embrace the challenge, because only in the now do you get divine guidance through gut intuition, inner knowing that you will be called right then and there. You don't need to ruminate about it beforehand. Be determined to think with gentleness and calm. And that's hard to do when you're dealing with a toxic person. But Spirit says if you raise your vibration, it's actually easier because what you're seeing is that this person, number one, doesn't affect you and they are not living your reality. They're living a much darker and grimmer, lower reality. So you can have pity on them. And then find inner silence and become a manifestation of peace. So when we have peace of mind, that's when we're open to receiving. When we're stressed out, we're not. And being connected to this person that wanted to put you in like a three-ring thing because they weren't ready to let go of that person, that they were so selfish, just thinking about themselves. Well, Spirit saying you knew what it was. It's like you had to go through that experience, but now you're free and clear of that. And now it's about living authentically, living your true self. And then the real true path will unfold because the universe responds to that. Is again, thinks that that's abundant when you live your true self, your higher self. And that's only when you live loud and authentically. I'm going to leave that there. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.